Welcome to the F1 Debate Show.
We talk about who could end up where in 2018. And we talk about Lewis Hamilton equaling Ayrton Senna's pole position record. So we're at this stage of the season where transfer rumours are high and drivers are looking for options for 2018. Now in this part of the episode I'm just going to basically give you a list of drivers, a number of drivers who I think may move next season, and then also give you some other drivers who maybe aren't really linked for a move for next season, however judging on their form in 2017 might move in the future. Now the first one I'm going to basically bring to you is a driver who can't get out of the media for all the wrong reasons, unfortunately, you know what I mean? He's had an illustrious career, been with some amazing teams, had some amazing drives. Right now, I think he's at the point blank of his career, even though he is still considered as one of the best drivers on the grid today and probably one of the best drivers of all time. And I'm obviously talking about Fernando Alonso. Now, this guy can't really get out of the F1 debate right now. I think there's only been, 2 episodes since we started back in February that we haven't mentioned Fernando Alonso or McLaren for that matter anyways. So I think it is time to mention them again. And however, maybe try and give them a bit of a positivity to say for what we can say about McLaren. Now, Fernando Alonso's contract runs out at the end of this season. Now he's obviously going to be looking out for some options, whether that's in Formula One or whether that's in another form of motorsport. So basically, just a little bit off Fernando Alonso for a bit. McLaren, obviously, are a bitter end with Honda right now. It's just nothing's going right. The car's just breaking. As we've seen at the Canadian Grand Prix, the Grand Prix just gone. 2 laps to go. Fernando Alonso, P10, looking to score his first lot of points of the season, and the car breaks down. I think that was the final straw for Honda and McLaren, really, because it has been kind of linked that the relationship is going to break down, and I think that is pretty much a confirmation that is pretty much over. Now, they are linked with a Mercedes return in 2018 to hopefully bring back the glory days of what they used to have and, give themselves a better car. Now, obviously, I'm bringing Fernando Alonso into this because he is looking to go to other teams. He's linked with Mercedes. He's linked with a return to Renault for a third stint. However, he has said about McLaren that if they're not winning by September, then he's leaving. End of that. And I don't think McLaren are going to be scoring points by September, let alone a win. However, if the Mercedes partnership does get confirmed before September, will Fernando Alonso maybe consider staying at McLaren and maybe see how the Mercedes partnership goes? Or do you think, right, I can't give this another chance, I need to go to another team? However, I don't think one of the teams might be Sauber, because Sauber have a new engine partnership coming next season. Honda, they're coming in, so I don't think Alonso might be going to Sauber anytime soon. However, the other driver that you really need to consider is Stoffel Van Dorn. Now, when it comes to drivers and their debuts, McLaren aren't really the most generous of teams. Since Lewis Hamilton's introduction back in 2007, 10 years ago, he's went on to win 3 World Championships, multiple wins, multiple pole positions, considered one of the best drivers ever in Formula One, and obviously came from the McLaren drivers program. Now, since that, the other drivers haven't really fared as better. We've had Sergio Perez, who, yes, he didn't come through the McLaren program, but we signed him after Lewis Hamilton left. He came and gone within the first season to bring in a young driver who did come through the academy, Kevin Magnussen. 1 season, gone. Okay, never mind. Bring in Fernando Alonso. Now he is staying. However, he probably isn't really doing as well as what the other drivers did, because they had a Mercedes engine. He's had a Honda engine. Now, Stoffel Van Dorn should be fighting for his place. Now, he can't really do the best in this car. Now, McLaren need to consider this, because for me, Stoffel Van Dorn can become one of the best F1 drivers out there. He's Belgium. We've had drivers such as Jackie X coming from Belgium, so he's trying to bring back some Belgian drivers into Formula One. We go there to Spa, brilliant track as well. So we need some more drivers from Belgium. Now, Stoffel Van Dorn can become the face of Formula One in Belgium. However, the way he's going on isn't really that good because of the car. Now, McLaren I would say, in my opinion, need to keep him, because I think he's got a good career ahead of him. Give him the right car, he can do some really amazing things. Just look at the lower ranks. He's won multiple titles in GP3, GP2. I think when he was in the Super Formula, he won a couple of races there. So again, that just proves the talent he has. Now McLaren, they do need to keep a hold of him. Now, obviously, from what I'm going to say is about these two drivers, that I think Alonso will leave, definitely. I think Stoffel will stay for another season. I hope he does anyways, coming from a McLaren's fan. However, I don't know how lenient McLaren are going to be about this. They might get rid of both of them, might bring in two brand new drivers with a Mercedes engine, and just clean the plate, fresh start, new team, new engine. Let's see what the future brings. Now, the next driver I'm going to mention is a driver who isn't really linked for a move for next season, however, could possibly move within the future. Now, I'm talking about Max Verstappen. Now, we haven't really spoke about him a lot this season. We ranted and raved a lot about him last season. However, we haven't given really much limelight because he hasn't really done much this season. You know, he got a podium in China. Still haven't watched that race, by the way. Apart from that, we haven't really given any limelight. Now, his start at the Canadian Grand Prix was tremendous. Up to P2, split the Mercedes. I was like, wow, here we go. Now, this is where Max Verstappen can get another podium, maybe even a race. We've seen what happened with Mercedes back in 2014 when both cars' power units failed, allowing the Red Bull Daniel Ricciardo to come through and actually win the race. That could have happened again easily. Obviously, well, you've seen what the pace of Lewis Hamilton. On fire, guys, on fire. So a podium place would have been absolutely terrific for Max Verstappen, who is looking a bit, well, I wouldn't say him, but I would say the car is looking a bit rusty. You know, Ricciardo back-to-back podiums now. Obviously, give or take that, you know, something's went wrong with another car, however. And obviously a bit of luck as well playing into it. But obviously Max Verstappen, absolutely tremendous driver. Now, the car let him down again. Now, this isn't the first time this has happened this season. This is like the second or third time it's happened. You know, we've seen it. I think he had a bit of a problem in Spain. Then he had that one in what race was it? He braked Philly in Bahrain just after coming out of the pits. You know, just little things like that, taking him away from possible point scoring finish. Now, should he be considering a move away? Now, for me, not next season, but I think he actually might move should Red Bull not give him a competitive car at all, because this guy is talented. He honestly he's a really good driver. I rate him highly, obviously, as you guys know. Now, I think personally that Max Verstappen might move to Mercedes. Now, you're probably thinking, whoa, hang on a minute, whoa, what's going on there? Now, the situation at Mercedes, which is now another team I'm going to bring into the fold, is because Valtteri Bottas's contract runs out in 2017 at the end of this season. Now, he's going to have to fight for his place and fight for Lewis Hamilton. Now, if he can't compete with that, Mercedes are going to have to look at that and go, right, we might give him another year and maybe bring in somebody else, but maybe get rid of him at the end of this season. I don't think they will. I think they will give him another year. Might give him a multi-year contract, but then might go, okay, you know, if he is having poor performances, let's say, he might go, okay, Valtteri, your performances aren't that good. We're going to have to replace you and bring in another driver. Now, Max Verstappen is young enough. He's talented. He's shown that. Mercedes have shown an interest in him when he was at the younger ranks. However, his dad really wanted him to go to Red Bull because he was part of their drivers program. He probably had, you know, connections, let's say, with Helmut Marko, Mateschitz, and probably Christian Horner for that matter. So I think that's why he's in that drive. So I think Mercedes will be interested in him, and I think he can do amazing things in a Mercedes car if Mercedes can keep competitive should Red Bull not give him the car. Now, I predicted, I predicted Max Verstappen to win the Drivers' Championship in 2018. When he signed in 2014, when it was announced in 2014 that he was going to be signing for Toro Rosso in 2015, I said 2018 World Championship right here. And I will try and find my Facebook status when, because obviously I posted it, so I might try and find it. Should he win or at any time if he is going to be quite close. I might find that. But anyways, I think he can do well in a Mercedes. And I think Red Bull right now are just miles off the pace by threatening to quit in Formula One as well. They're always doing that, right, guys? And Max Verstappen needs to be in a stable team. Now, I don't know if you agree about that, but he needs to be in a team where they can win. Red Bull was supposed to this was supposed to be Red Bull's comeback season after having 3 years behind either Mercedes. Behind a Mercedes or a Ferrari. Now, Max Verstappen was a second favourite to win the Drivers' Championship, just behind Lewis Hamilton. Now, his odds are probably fallen well behind the likes of Kimi Raikkonen and Sebastian Vettel and Valtteri Bottas for that matter. And he needs a competitive car to showcase his talents. Now he's doing okay, but not good enough because of the cars. Because the car's unreliable. Now Red Bull obviously having a bit of a not so good agreement with Renault, as obviously they've stated, because they've changed their engine name from Renault to Tag Heuer to try and get away from the branding and all that. But I think Max Verstappen might move to Mercedes should either Bottas or Hamilton move or leave, because Lewis Hamilton might move to Ferrari. That's the one you could consider. So, guys, this is the question I'm just going to leave you with. Should Alonso stay or leave with McLaren if they do announce a partnership with Mercedes for 2018? Should Stoffel Van Dorn stay at McLaren? Should McLaren let Stoffel Van Dorn stay? Should they keep him on? Should Valtteri Bottas stay at Mercedes for another year, or should they replace him with another driver, Max Verstappen? Now, should Max Verstappen leave Red Bull or stay with Red Bull to actually have a good shout at winning an actual world championship? Let us know, guys, in the comment section below of your opinions, or you can click the I button and let us know your opinions. Arguably one of the best drivers ever in Formula 1, Lewis Hamilton has matched Ayrton Senna's pole position record. Now, we all know by now that Lewis Hamilton's idol is Ayrton Senna. Now, for me, I used to be a Lewis Hamilton fan when I was just starting out in Formula 1 when I was at McLaren. Now, this is obviously the story. The story goes that I follow Lewis Hamilton, kind of grew up with him in Formula 1. When he left, I kind of stuck with McLaren rather than Hamilton. It was kind of like, do I go with McLaren or do I go with Hamilton? I stuck with McLaren, and that turned out to be a good decision, doesn't it? But obviously for me, when I seen that he matched Ayrton Senna's record, honestly, I was over the moon for him, because one, he's British, and obviously it's his idol, and you know what I mean, like stuff like that. It's just absolutely, it is incredible. It really, really is. If you're a Hamilton fan or not, you should be proud. You should be happy of what you're seeing right now, because we're seeing history being made right here, and we're not actually going to take it in or actually believe it until he actually retires. Because when Schumacher, well, I'll make an example. When Schumacher was in Formula 1, he's obviously the only driver to beat Ayrton Senna in pole position records for 68. And it's very, very, very likely that Hamilton is going to beat that record. But nobody says anything about Michael Schumacher's pole position record. You know what I mean? I never hear. All I hear is Ayrton Senna 65 pole positions. I never hear Schumacher 68 pole positions, in my opinion. Anyways, you guys might, but I personally don't. So I'm like, why? Why is Schumacher being the pole position? Why is he being disbanded as not really a pole position master or a qualified master when Ayrton Senna is? And obviously, for me, Lewis Hamilton in modern day Formula 1 is obviously is definitely the best F1 driver, in my opinion. I'm not really a big fan of him now, but as like I said, in my opinion, he is definitely one of the best modern day F1 drivers. Definitely the best British driver in terms of stats. Anyways, 3 world championships, 65 pole positions, and 57 wins. I think 56 or 57 wins. I'm not really too sure on that one. I might, you probably would have seen it in the graphics, anyways. But obviously, the question I want to ask you guys is a bit of a heart-to-heart here. Is Lewis Hamilton really one of the best F1 drivers of all time? Now, what you got to think about is 2 things, right? Is obviously you got to think about the car and the actual driver. In terms of pure skill, is Lewis Hamilton really up there? Because the cars you're driving these days are quite technical. They help the driver a lot. You've got all sorts of mechanical, buttons on the steering wheel. You've got the race engineer over the radio helping you to, if something goes wrong, they'll go, okay, press this, press that, do this, do that, and the driver does it, and the problem is solved. Now, obviously, if they took that rule away in 2016, that didn't really go to plan. Obviously, they brought the rule back halfway through that season. But back in the day, you never had a team radio. You only had the pit board, which only told you how many seconds you are either in front or behind a driver. And obviously, if something went wrong, you had to kind of correct it yourself, or maybe go into the pits, because the pits, they weren't like 2 or 3 seconds; they were like 20 seconds back in Ayrton Senna's day, and obviously, and even before that, in Jackie Stewart's day, and Jim Clark's day, my favorite F1 driver of all time. So, obviously, they would have said, okay, this is wrong. What do we do? Obviously, you've got like 10 seconds to try and figure out what to do, so you can get back out there and obviously either keep your position or try and fight for that position back. So obviously, as like I said, they didn't have really all them components. Obviously, back in the day, it was literally 80% driver, 20% car. Now, I would say it's 50% driver and 50% car. Now you could say, if you were to put Ayrton Senna in today's Formula One car, could he actually do better? Could he win Grand Prix? Could he win championships? If you put him in a Ferrari, this season Ferrari, if you put him in a 2016 Mercedes, a 2013 Red Bull, who knows? I really don't know. You're probably thinking, well, of course he could. It's in Red Bull. Who knows? Look at Mark Webber. He didn't really succeed. Sebastian Vettel did. So, obviously look at Lewis Hamilton in 2014. He did great. Rosberg kind of failed. So, you got that. But then you could say, could Lewis Hamilton get pole position in an MP44 or an MP45? Who knows? Honestly, you really don't know. So they're the things you got to really think about, because it is nice seeing everyone come together and see Lewis Hamilton emulate Ayrton Senna's record. Match it as well, and obviously definitely could beat it. He could match Schumacher's record at Silverstone. What a place to do it as well. You know what I mean? That's it's absolutely tremendous to even acknowledge that. And obviously, and Lyle's going to the British Grand Prix qualifying, so again that'll be quite cool, won't it? So he could actually witness it as well. So I might try and get him. I might try and have a word with him to get it on camera. But yes, Lewis Hamilton. Now, is he one of the best drivers of all time? I mean, yes, it is. It was nice to see him obviously get the helmet of a race replica of Ayrton Senna's. I think it was 1987. I think it was, when he was with Lotus, because it obviously had the Camel logo on, obviously the sponsor, the cigarette sponsor. I think it was 87. I think they said it was like it was replica given to Senna. Given to Hamilton on the actual day of the Canadian Grand Prix. However, Hamilton will actually receive the real one, because what I mean, like, why would they actually give it in public? You know what I mean? Like, travel travel all the way there to actually really give him it in person in public at the Canadian Grand Prix. So I think he's going to get the real one. You might get it now. You might get it next week. I'm not really too sure, to be honest with you, but it is good to see. As like I said, we are witnessing history here. So as like I said, let us know in the comment section below, is Lewis Hamilton the best F1 driver, or one of the best F1 drivers of all time? But anyways, guys, this is where I'm wrapping up this episode. Thank you very much for watching as well. Obviously, a bit of a short episode than normal. Not really much to sort of really debate. It's been a quiet week in Formula 1. And obviously, as you're aware, Lyle is away right now. So obviously, he will be back for the next episode, episode 58. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure that you check out our last episode, episode 56. That was a good one as well. And obviously, make sure that you do stick around for the F1 debate show. We're doing quite well. I'm very happy with the views and the comments and stuff. People are seeming to like what we do as well. And obviously, we've got some very, very cool things coming up. Not only this summer, but at the end of the year, and then maybe into next year as well. A long way away, but obviously, I do want you guys to actually stick around for that. Obviously, if you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up as well. If you're going to dislike this video, please give us a reason why you're going to dislike this video. We want to know why you have disliked this video. And obviously, if you dislike it, don't leave a comment. Okay, that's fair enough. But if you honestly do want to give us a bad review, tell us. Just leave it in the comment section below. And what can we improve on? What will make you change from dislike to like? And if you do like what we do, then subscribe for more as well. For more weekly content of the F1 Debate Show every Saturday at 6 p.m. GMT UK time. Anyways, guys, we have been the F1 Debate Show. I will see you in the next episode.